everyone, welcome to Slater's Wrist Game. Today we're going to do a review on a watch that I've wanted for actually a few years now, about 3 or 4 years, and I finally picked it up. I've already done an unboxing video, and if you haven't saw that yet, I will put a card where you can click on it in a video, but this is going to be more like a review. It's not an unboxing, but this is a Hamilton Khaki Field, okay? Now, the Hamilton is based, Khaki Field is based on military watches used in World War II, going back to like the 40s. And they got 3 different ones. Really, you got the Hamilton Khaki Field, you got the 38 and the 42 millimeter, and you also got the 40 millimeter Khaki King, which has a day and a date. You also have the Murph. You got, they got a lot of different versions, but I don't see a lot of videos on the 42 millimeter version. And this is a model number H70555533. It fits my wrist better because of the specs, and it looks just as good as the 38. So I decided to do a review on it, and I've worn it now for maybe 5 or 6 weeks. So I want to go ahead and do a full review. So as far as the specs are concerned, this watch has a 42 millimeter case, and let me go ahead and get it off this pillow. Now, I do like the packaging of Hamilton. I do like the wood looking box with the gray interior. I think it looks good. But this watch here has a 42 millimeter case. It actually has a 52 millimeter lug to lug. And it has a lug width of 22 millimeters. And it is 100 meters water resistant. And it only weighs 78 grams. So, and this, so I definitely like that. And this watch has the movement, the H10 movement, which is equivalent to the Powermatic 80, which we're going to talk a little bit about that later. Yeah, but the case size 42 millimeter, I thought was perfect fit for me. That's like one of my favorite, between 42 and 45. I like that. The 52 millimeter lug to lug, it is long for most people, but it fits me perfectly, and the lugs, you can see, curved down, so it does fit your wrist pretty well. Actually conforms to your wrist, so I do like that case. You can definitely see it's curved downward. And it's only 10.5 millimeters thick, so this watch, even though it's a field watch, it would definitely fit under the cuff of a dress shirt, so you might be able to get away with wearing this watch as a dress watch. Some people actually do. So yeah, but this is a field watch. So this is the field watches they used back in the 40s during the World War II. Nowadays, you might think about a Casio G-Shock or a Timex Iron Man, but this is like the original field watch. It's very legible. So that's one of the things I like about it. Now, when you look at the bezel, this watch here has a stainless steel bezel, and it has a stainless steel case with a polished bezel. And the polished bezel gives it a more dressy look. And that's pretty much the only thing that is really polished on this watch, on the case of this watch. When you look at the dial, let's take a closer look at the dial. You see that the dial has a couple of different finishes. So the outermost portion of the dial, you see a 60 seconds track, and it has a brushed finish on a 60 seconds track. But as you go closer toward the center, you see the 12-hour dial, and it has a circular brushed finish. So you see like some concentric circles. And once you get to the very center of the dial, it is also a brushed finish again, just like the 60 seconds track. So I think that is pretty neat. That's definitely paying attention to detail. It gives this watch a pretty good look. The dial obviously is a black dial with Arabic numerals. You got some syringe hands for the minute hand and the hour hand. You got the second hand that has the red tip, which I always like to see a second hand with a red tip. But you do have the text. You have Hamilton at the top, and then you have Khaki Automatic over the 6 o'clock. You also have a date window at the 3 o'clock, which has a white border going around the date window. So yeah, so this is a great watch. Like it. I always love the aesthetics of this watch. Now let's talk more about the, before we talk about the moves, let's look at the crown. The crown is a push-pull crown, and it is an oversized crown. It's easy to grab and to wind. That's what I like about this crown here. Like I say, you see this polished crown. It is, like I say, a push-pull crown. When you look at the strap, you see this reddish brown leather strap. I do love this color strap. And you got the white contrast stitching on the strap. You see the buckle here, and it says Hamilton, has a Hamilton engraving on this brushed finish with this buckle. So I do like the strap. Now, the strap is kind of stiff, but it's starting to kind of loosen up. I'm starting to break it in, but it's going to take you a while to break it in. It does come out pretty stiff. When you look at the case back, you do see a display case back. You see the Hamilton rotor, okay, with the words Hamilton on there. You do see other information on there about the water resistance and things of that nature. But I do like a display case back on my watches. So this is pretty good. Like I said, this is the H10 movement, which is a modified 28-24 movement. And so a little bit more about the movement. So basically, this the ETA 28-24 typically has 4 hertz movement. It's 28,800 beats per hour, and it has 38 hours power reserve. But they modified it and they broke it. They brought the hertz down to 3 hertz or 21,600, and it increased the power reserve to 80. Now, some people like the original version of this watch where it has the 38-hour power reserve and a 4 hertz movement. I like the 3 hertz movement with the 80-hour power reserve. I found that I wore this watch on Friday, took it off like 8 o'clock in the evening, woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, and it was still running, and just got out the door and was on my way to work with it. That's what I like about this watch. It is a hacking movement, and I know that ETA has 4 different grades, but this is a standard grade movement, which I kind of figured therefore this watch would be so affordable. As far as the accuracy, it's plus 3 seconds a day on the accuracy. So so I think we pretty much covered all the basics of the watch. So what are the pros and what are the cons of this watch right here? All right, so basically as far as the pros, as far as the cons, I'll start with that. This watch here has no anti-reflective coating. So you can see this watch is very reflective. It's almost like looking into a mirror. The watch has a very stiff leather. The leather is still kind of stiff here. So it's going to take a while to really break that leather in. But it is premium quality leather though. And there's the loom. Now, I didn't do a loom shot, but the hands are loomed well in my opinion. But the Arabic numerals really don't hold up. They start to fade pretty fast. And the beats per hour is only 21,600. So I got some other watches that got Sellita and ETA movements and their 4 hertz movements, and I do love the smooth sweep, but you don't get that with this particular watch. There are some older ones that do have that. And what do I like about it? I do like the 80-hour power reserve. Hey, this is the only watch I have that has a power reserve like this with 80 hours. I feel like anytime you have a watch that's an 80-hour power reserve, it can be just your own, just one watch. This can be a good, if somebody want a one watch collection, this would be a good candidate for that. The price, the MSRP is $575 for this version on the strap. The version on the stainless steel version on the bracelet is $625. But you can find this version for around $400 on some very reputable gray market dealers new. I don't know what it is pre-owned. All right. As far as the look, I also like the aesthetics of it. There's just a bonus. Like I said, I wrote back in 2019 that I wanted to get this watch. I finally got it. It just looks great. Every time I see a picture of it or a YouTube video of any version of the the Hamilton Khaki Field was 30 to 42. I always like it. The crown, I do like it. It is an oversized crown, and it is easy to wind, and it doesn't really get in the way. It's very has a very ergonomic design, so you can still move your wrist and it's not in the way. This watch is very versatile. This can be a field watch or a dress watch. Because it is so thin and it has this polished bezel, you could wear this dressy. And it's also a strap monster. You can put this on a black strap, a chocolate brown strap, a gray strap. I mean, you can just leather NATO strap or a regular NATO strap. This is a strap monster. So you can really dress this watch up. So you can just keep this as one watch, put different straps on it, get different looks if you really wanted to. And it's legible. This watch here has the black dial with the large Arabic numerals, so it is very legible. And it's also lightweight. It is only 78 grams. So any watch under 150 grams, I call kind of lightweight. This watch is about half that at 78 grams. The last thing, this watch is very thin at 10.5. So there's also a bonus. Sometimes between the 78 grams and 10.5 millimeters thickness, you will literally forget you're wearing this watch. Watch is very comfortable. So what do I really think of it? At the end of the day, this watch here is worth the hype. I see why people like it. Only thing I think they really could improve on is the anti-reflective coating, but that might drive the price up, but that's it. This watch is absolutely fantastic. And the last, overall, I think it's just a great watch. So it is worth the hype. One of the few watches that is actually worth it. Last thing I want to do a wristwatch. I want a wrist shot. So let me just put it down for a minute and I'll put it on. My wrist is 7 3/4, about 20 centimeters. So I have a large wrist. So give people an idea how it might look on their wrist. So just a minute. It's hard to put a watch on with these slippery gloves. Let's see how long it takes me. Okay. All right, so here's the watch on my wrist. So my wrist is 7 3/4, 20 centimeters. And this is what it looks like. So you can kind of imagine what it might look like on your wrist. I honestly think you need a wrist of about 7 inches to kind of pull this off, right around 18 centimeters or so. All right, so that's it for this review. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do really appreciate the support that the channel has been getting, and please continue to comment on the videos and let me know what you think about the Hamilton Khaki feel.